Welcome back to the Who's and Yanks, where we talk everything Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Tonight we'll be talking about the U.S. women's team versus Mexico in the first leg of their Olympic send-off series. But before we do that, there is a special message from Canada Soccer that I do want to read. And this is regarding Canada Day, as today, as you may know, is Canada Day, July 1st. However, this Canada Day is going to be observed differently than the previous Canada Days. And before I go into what I mean, I'm going to read the statement from the Canada Soccer Association. And it says, historically, July 1st has been a day of celebration. This year, we commit to educating ourselves about the history of our country and the indigenous peoples of what we now call Canada. We recognize that education is an ongoing process and understand that we will never truly be experts on indigenous challenges and realities, but continue to see the importance and impact of working towards allyship. Please join us this July 1st in starting to do this work. Sincerely from the Canadian Soccer Association. And so what this means is this is big. You know, we saw Prime Minister Trudeau and other government leaders and even other sports associations come out and really emphasize the importance of understanding Indigenous relations within Canada and understanding Indigenous Canadians. As if you haven't heard, there's been more discoveries of tragic discoveries. I have to emphasize tragic discoveries and of more bodies found in previous residential school sites within Canada. And it just shows it reminds us of the dark history that Canada and Canadians had with Indigenous people and First Nations. And it's just a reminder, right? And how things need to be reconciliation, and we need to reconcile with them and make things better for them. And so this Canada Day was all about reflecting on the Indigenous peoples and the importance in their work and the strife and all their trials and tribulations that they went through in Canada for their hard times growing up. And that's really important. So hopefully as time goes on, Canada will begin to reconcile with the First Nations and the Indigenous Canadians on the trials and troubles they've been through. And unfortunately, numbers continue to increase in terms of the bodies being found at residential schools, as more residential school sites are being searched after British Columbia was one of the first ones to be searched and exposed really the tragic ruins of the bodies. And hopefully things will get better for Canada and the Canadians and non-Indigenous Canadians as they begin to reconcile with each other and make things better. But further ado, that's Canadian women's soccer team, or Canadian soccer team in general. That's their message regarding Canada Day. Today we're going to be talking about the U.S. women's team's game, though, against Mexico in leg 1 of their Olympic send-off series. And without further ado, the United States women play a 4-3-3, my favorite formation. And in net, they play Alyssa Nair, with on defense Kelly O'Hara, Dow Kimber, Becky Sauerbrunn, and Crystal Dunn. And in the midfield, we go to Sam Mewis, Lindsey Horan, Christine Mewis. So you do have the Mewis sisters. And then up top, we have Christian Press, Carrasco, or Alex Morgan. And then we have Rapinoe. And so we go to basically the first 19 minutes of the game was honestly unexpectedly both ends. There was action on both ends, plenty of them too. Mexico attacked, and I'll talk more about that later. But Mexico attacked, and many people didn't expect Mexico to come out attacking. They expected Mexico to kind of curl up into a shell and kind of defend and take punches from the U.S. But credit to them, they didn't do this in the first 19-20 minutes of the game. But then the 20th minute, the United States was able to break through as Christine Mewis passes it to her sister Sam Mewis with that sister connection, and Sam Mewis puts it into the bottom right corner past Emily Alvarado, and it's 1-0 USA. Just as Mexico thought they were doing good, USA lands a major blow, and their confidence probably went down, but credit to them, they kept fighting, and they did this actually the whole game, so big credit to Mexico. And within the 30th minute, Megan Rapinoe puts the ball into the box for Alex Morgan, and she hits it off the woodwork, so close for the United States to getting that second goal. But in the 34th minute, Sanchez from Mexico has a chance of her own as she batters off Kelly O'Hara and is one-on-one with Alyssa Nair. But great backtrack defending from Dow, not Becky, but Dow Kimber to clear it away. And boy, if it wasn't for Dow Kimber, listen to her, maybe would have made the save, but it was raining. Keep in mind these were in raining conditions, and the ball tends to do weird stuff in the rain. Let's say that. It can stop, it can keep going, it skips, it does weird stuff. So we don't know if Alyssa Nell would have made the saves, but thank God for Dow Kimber for being there and backtracking and great defending to keep Mexico off the score sheet. And in the 37th minute, Sam Ewis tries to have a strike from outside the box, but she misses wide. It's a good opportunity, but nothing comes to it. Still 1-0 USA. 39th minute, we do have something as Sam Ewis dribbles down the sideline, slides the ball to Megan Rapinoe. Rapinoe passes it to Kristen Press, and she slots it in. It's 2-0 USA. 2-0, as the crowd in Connecticut was chanting, and it is 2-0 for the USA. And then with that is halftime. The USA begins to find their rhythm after 20 minutes, right? Then again, it's a little shaky. Both teams had opportunities, but USA had ended up getting the better of the opportunities as they begin to have more shots on goal and more shots on target. And 2 goals actually came from that, which gave them that 2-0 lead going into the half. And coming out of the half, there is a change in net. USA, remember, this is still a friendly, not the Olympics, so they're still preparing, using these last bit of extra games to prepare for the Olympics. So they do swap keepers and have Alyssa Nahar is out, and Adriana Franch is the new keeper for the second half and the remainder of the game. But we go all the way to the 64th minute as Crystal Dunn has a great look, but it's saved by Alvarado, the Mexican keeper. Great hands from her and great awareness to deny Crystal Dunn off that score sheet. In the 72nd minute, we have Megan Rapinoe has a strike on net, but it hits off the post. Once again, the post keeps denying the United States. A lot of post action in this game. And really says a lot, but at least the USA are getting some shots. But we go to the 74th minute, and there's a long distance strike from Tobin Heath, and it goes into the net. What a strike. And it bounces. I mean, we're talking outside the box. And it just bounced the keeper. Alvarado was not aware of it. And she didn't see it. Tobin Heath hits the ball off the side of the post, skips it in. It's 3-0 USA. Unbelievable. The USA are now starting to run away with this game now. But then we finally go to the 85th minute. It's not all, unfortunately, for Mexico. The USA keeps pouring it on. Davison puts a beautiful ball into the box for Christian Press. And Press taps it over Alvarado's head. It's 4-0 USA. And that's the way to win. USA wins this one 4-0 over Mexico. And a 43-game unbeaten streak continues for them also in the process as well. And we go look at the stats. And we have the United States outshoots Mexico 29-5. A lot of shots. Out of those 29 shots for the USA, 7 were on target, while 1 of the 5 for Mexico was on target. So, yet again, a lot of shots, but very, very seldom on target. But hey, 4 of those went in the back of the net. And 59% possession for the United States to 41% for Mexico. 519 passes completed for the United States to 388 for Mexico. 83% pass accuracy to Mexico's 70% pass accuracy. And then 5 fouls for the United States to 3 fouls for the United States. No yellow cards, no red cards. 1 offside for the United States to nose for Mexico. And 9 corners to 3 for the United States. So the United States does dominate the stats. But once again, as I said earlier, got to give credit to Mexico. They did not curl up into a ball like everyone expected them to do and just take punches from this U.S. women's team. No, they actually tried to create some chances of their own. In some cases, they were almost successful. Like the 34th minute chance from Sanchez as she bodied O'Hara off the ball and almost had a breakaway to the net. But just great defending from the United States. They had some chances, but the United States came out better in this one. But this was actually in the inaction though the whole game, and as I said, few expected this. And Mexico, if I were you, I would take this as a motivator. You almost went toe-to-toe, or you proved that in some cases you can go toe-to-toe at moments with the number 1 ranked team in the world. So that's something to keep your head up high. Stay positive, Yeah, it ended 4-0, but you had some great moments, right? And only if you tweak it a little bit, it could make a world of a difference and make that scoreline a little closer. But, yeah. And as I said earlier, give credit to Mexico, right? They didn't curl up into a ball. They stood there and fight like warriors. Although, hey, the result didn't go quite the way it did, but at least they fought, and this game gives them a lesson for the next one, for leg 2, right? And yeah, credit to them. But the USA, as I said earlier, did find their rhythm. It took some time in terms of shots, but if you're thinking for the United States, if you're thinking about this game in terms of scouting, like Sweden and France and other teams in the Olympics are probably looking at this game. They're probably thinking about how easier ways to show how the USA can get broken down in offensive positions or even defensive positions. So in terms of scouting, Mexico also did. That's another positive for Mexico. They did kind of expose a little areas in the USA for weaknesses. But other than that, USA looked okay. You know, there's some things, as I said earlier, can be fine tuned for the Olympics. But hey, that's what these friendlies are for. You got one more friendly to get all the jitters out and get all the junk and all that out. But hey, getting ready for the Olympics. That's all part of the process. And basically, that's pretty much it. You know, Mexico. Hey, hard fought game. Although it didn't quite go your way this time, we'll see if there's improvement for Mexico though. In leg 2 for the United States, just dominating performance. Although it was in the inaction and Mexico did have chances. So hopefully the Mexicans can look at this one and keep their head up and try again in leg 2. But great job for the United States, just dominating effort, and not really much to critique other than moments, I guess, finishing, right? 7 shots on target out of 29. 4 did go in the back of the net. Would like to see that shots on target at least be up to 17 or 18. But hey, you know, you got one more game to see where the shots on target can go up to and match, kind of offset the shots that have been taken in general. But that pretty much does it for this game. Next up, good news, the gold rosters have been released. Gold Cup rosters for both USA and Canada. Next up, I will be revealing the Canadian men's finalized Gold Cup roster, and then shortly after, in another days or so, the U.S. side too. But that is it for now. Also, I did not forget about the 10 sub special, but that will probably happen around July 7th. And I'm going to probably, for that one, I'm going to be talking about the new league that is being created by MLS that's going to be coming to the United States, and how that's going to possibly expand their talent pool, and even the level of play, the playing level, and the pyramid level, right? Everything about that is going to be great in every way. Can't wait to see the new league come into fruition in 2022, next year. So it's going to be an exciting moment to watch. That's going to be our 10 sub special around July 7th, as I said. But in terms of the USA, great job. This is it for this video. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends. And also tell all your friends that the USA is almost getting ready for the Olympics. A couple improvements, and I say they're ready to go.